We're on page 182 of your student journal looking at lesson 6.6 on inverse functions. So this first section here is kind of just a warm-up with your algebra skills. It's not actually finding inverses. So let's just put that little note up here. You're not really finding inverses here, okay? So let's read the instructions. Solve y equals f of x for x. So the first thing we're going to do is solve for x. And then find the input. So we'll find x when the output is -6. So find x when y equals -6. All right, so step 1, solve for x. So we'll replace f of x with y. And then to solve for x, we need to add 1 to both sides. And then divide by 2 on both sides. So you get y plus 1 divided by 2 equals x. So that's step 1. Step 2 means we're going to substitute -6 for y. So this y right here, we're going to substitute a -6. So that will go -6 plus 1 over 2 equals x. If we simplify, we'll get -5/2 equals x. All right, number 2, same thing. Y equals 1 minus x squared. So let me draw a little line here. So we need to subtract 1 from both sides. Divide by 1. Okay, and then to get rid of that exponent, we need to take the square root of both sides. That cancels on the right. We'll get square root of -y plus 1 equals x. That's the first part. Second part, we're going to substitute -6 for this y right here. So square root of -6 plus 1. Make my radical a little shorter there, equals x. So that'll be square root of +6 plus 1, which is square root of 7. Okay, number 3, same thing. Y equals x minus 1 cubed plus 2. So first thing would be to undo the addition. We'll subtract 2 on both sides. Then to undo the exponent, you take the root. So since the exponent's a 3, we will take the cube root of both sides. That'll cancel on the right. We get cube root of y minus 2 equals x plus 1. Sorry, x minus 1. Add 1 to both sides. You get cube root y minus 2. Make my radical a little shorter again. Plus 1 is not under the radical, and that would give you your x. Then we substitute -6 for that y value. So that'd be the cube root of -8 plus 1 equals x. Cube root of -8 is -2. -2 times -2 times -2 will give you -8. So you get -1 equals x. Continuing into the next section, we do find the inverse of the function and then graph them both here. So step 1 will be to switch x and y. Step 2 will be solve for y. And step 3, let's see if I can squeeze it in here. We're going to use function notation, so the inverse is f to the negative 1 of x. So we replace the y with that at the end. So our first function, we can start with y equals 10 times x. We will switch the x and the y. And then to solve for y, we'll divide by 10 on both sides. That gives us x divided by 10, and then we'll replace it with the inverse function notation. So this is your inverse. So you'll notice your original function up here was 10 times x, and then this inverse is x divided by 10. So you'll notice those are inverse operations. Okay, and then to graph, we just need to find 2 points since this is linear. You just need 2 points to make a line. Whoops. Trying to get a straight x-axis here, having a little trouble. Oh well. No, we can't leave it like that. Hold on. I don't know why this isn't working right. There. We'll go from that direction. It just doesn't want to go straight. Look at that. I'm just going to draw the line instead of using the line tool. There we go. Okay, so our original function is y equals 10 times x. So our little xy table, we could substitute 0. That would give us 0. Here's a point. If we substitute a 1, we would get 10. So let's make this count by, let's make the x-axis count by 5s. Why not? So we would have 0, 0, and 1, 10. Just need 2 points to make a line. Okay, so this is your f of x. Now to get the inverse, all you do is switch your signs. So f to the negative 1 of x, sorry, not switch your signs, switch your x and y coordinates. So our first set of points right here was 0, 0. So that's going to stay the same and be 0, 0. And then we'll have, instead of 1, 10, we're going to switch those and make it 10, 1. So we've got 0, 0, and 10, 1. So 0, 0 stays the same. 10, 1. Oh, shoot, that's not going to work, is it? Hang on one second. Let me fix this graph. I guess we'll just go by tens here too, that's fine. Okay, so that changes this first one. 1 on the x and 10 would be about right there, something like that. So we'll fix that first line. Here's our first graph then. Okay, so then we got 0, 0 again. Then if we do 10, 1, we're going to be about right here. All right, so this is your f of negative 1 of x. Actually, let me take that off. Let me just label it over here. F to the negative 1 of x. Okay, and then the last line we're going to draw is the y equals x line. So you can see that these two graphs reflect over this line. Every single time you have inverses, they're always going to reflect over the line y equals x. All right, next one. Let's see. I'm going to do my work over number 6, and then I'll come back for the video. I'll just clear the screen. So we'll go y equals negative 1/5 x minus 7. So we will switch our x and y. And then to solve for y, we'll add 7 to both sides. And then since that's y times negative 1/5, we'll do divided by negative 1/5. So that means we multiply the reciprocal, negative 5, on both sides. It cancels on the right. We'll get negative 5x minus 35 equals, y, and then we'll replace that with f to the negative 1 of x as our function notation. Okay, so here's your inverse function. Here it was over in the last problem. Put a nice little box around it. Okay, so we can go to the calculator. We can run a function table. We just need to grab a couple points here. Again, if you do your f of x equals negative 1/5 x minus 7. This is your original function. So again, start with easy points like 0 and 1. 0, if you substitute that for x, would give you negative 7. Let's actually put in a 5 because we need to divide by 5. So negative 1/5 of 5 would be negative 1, and then minus 7 would give you negative 8. All right, so there's your original points. Let's go and graph those. Well, let's see, we need negative 7 and negative 8 on the y's, so maybe we should just count by 2's. 2, 4, 6, negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, so on. Okay, so 0, negative 7 will be here. 5, negative 8 would be right here. Draw a line through that. That's your f of x. All right, let's do the inverse. So that'll be f to the negative 1 of x. So again, all we do is just switch our x and y coordinates. So we'll have negative 7, 0, negative 8, 5. So let's see, negative 2, 4, 6, 7, 0 would be right there. And then negative 8, 5, 2, 4, 5 would be up here. Connect these two. This is f to the negative 1 of x, the inverse of f of x. Again, we will add our line of reflection. That's that y equals x line. Just so we can visualize how those two graphs are inverses. Okay, pause it there if you need to take those notes because I'm about to wipe the screen on my side. And now we'll do number 6. And I'm just going to write over number 4 on this one. So just write wherever you have room. If you need an extra sheet of paper, that's fine too. All right, so we'll switch x and y. We need to subtract 5/8 first. Okay, again, we need to divide that fraction, so that means multiply the reciprocal on both sides. So on the right it cancels, on the left you distribute. Oh, let's see, 4/3 minus 5/8. We need common denominators there, don't we? 4/3 minus 5/8. Common denominator would be 24. So the first fraction we will multiply by 8. We'll get 32 over 24. Second fraction we will multiply by 3. So it'll give us 15 over 24. 32 minus 15 is 17 over 24. Okay, so that will be, let's see, positive times negative is negative 17 24 equals y. And instead of the y, actually, let's go ahead and just call it f to the negative 1 of x. That's your inverse function notation. You could run a table here. It might be easier to go to a graphing calculator, maybe use Desmos.com to grab a couple points on this one. Okay, so I did look this up just to make it a little faster here. I went to Desmos and graphed our original function on number 6. And I grabbed 2 points, and sure enough, they are fractional points. So we have negative 0.83 and 0. And then we have 0 and 0.625. So that would be our original function, and then for our inverse function, we just reverse those coordinates. So we would get 0, negative 0.83, and then we would get 0.625 and 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up our graph. Let's make each one worth 0.5 then. Here, let's do it like this. I'll go 1, 2, like that. So each one's worth 0.5. Okay, so the first point, negative 0.8, is going to be almost at negative 1. So it'll be about right here at 0. And then 0 and 0.625 will be just above half, so it'll be about right here. Okay, we'll connect these 2 points, and there's our original function, f of x. And then our inverse, let's see, 0, negative 0.8 will be almost at negative 1 on the y-axis. And then 0.6250 will be just past half on the x-axis. Come on, point. There we go. So this is your f to the negative 1 of x. And again, let's graph our line of reflection, y equals x, so you can see those are nice mirror images of each other there.